Hey everyone, I'm Shubham Bhatt and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to show you one of the most underrated but deadly chess openings for white, the Lucchini Gambit. It's super tricky. It catches opponents off guard and trust me, once you learn these moves, your opponents will never see it coming. So stay till the end because I'll reveal some amazing chess tricks and traps hidden inside this gambit that can win you games in just a few moves. So, let's dive straight into the trap. We start with the classic opening e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop c4. This setup is known as the Italian game, one of the most common openings you'll ever face. Now, black responds with bishop c5, and here white has a few options. He can play c3 to build control in the center, or simply castle to safeguard his king. Another solid move is d3, defending the pawn and opening the diagonal for the bishop. And that's exactly what we want him to play, because now the fun begins. We push pawn to f5. This move is the heart of the Lucchini Gambit, bold, aggressive, and full of traps. White usually jumps in with knight g5, trying to launch a fried liver style attack. No worries, we calmly push the pawn forward, cutting off the bishop and attacking the knight at the same time. Now he thinks he's clever and plays knight f7, forking your queen and rook. He starts celebrating, but it's way too early because here comes the sneaky move, queen to h4. If white dares to take the rook, it's all over. Queen to f2, checkmate. So he can't take the rook. To stop the mate, he'll probably castle. Seems safe, right? But after knight f6, your rook is now completely safe. White has to capture it, and that's when your attack truly begins. You advance your pieces, and look at this! In just 8 moves, you've built a deadly attack around the king. You're already threatening queen to h2 checkmate. His only defense? Pushing h3. But then comes the killer blow. Knight takes f2. If he captures the knight, you simply recapture with your queen. If he runs to the corner, you push your pawn to blow open his defense. He can capture in 2 ways, but none of them work. If he captures with the queen, then this queen check, and it's a beautiful checkmate. And if he takes with the pawn, then we have d5, which not only attacks his bishop, but also activates our bishop. As you can see, we are just crushing it with all these mating tactics, and there's no way he can save this game. Going back, let's look at another crazy twist in this line. So, rook takes, queen takes, and now, instead of running to the corner, what if the king slides to h2? Well, things get even worse. We strike with d5. The bishop captures, and now comes the absolutely mind-blowing move. Bishop to g4. Look carefully. The queen is under attack. And the sad part? She can't leave the first rank. Because if she moves, we still have queen g1. Checkmate. And if you're thinking, alright, maybe I can take the bishop with the pawn, then believe it or not, queen to h4 is another crushing checkmate. Unbelievable, right? Every single move is a trap waiting to explode. Okay, let's go back again. Now in this position, you might be thinking, instead of taking with the rook, what if he simply moves his queen? Well, just look at this beautiful line. We jump in with knight to h3. Double check. The king slides to h1 or h2. Doesn't matter. Then again, knight to f2. Another double check. Now king g1 is forced. And finally, queen to h1. An absolutely stunning checkmate. On that note, my absolutely stunning audience, show some love and hit that like button below if you enjoyed this beauty. Alright, let's go back to this position. We have this checkmate threat, and I just showed you how white is completely destroyed after castling. But what if he plays g3? Well, we have some traps here as well. First, let's save our queen. Now white is out of danger, so he'll take the rook. And again, we have the same idea. First push d5, and then bring out the bishop to attack the queen. If he blocks, we'll just ignore this threat and take the g-pawn. Bishop sacrifice, and we simply push g2. This pawn is now unstoppable, and the rook cannot escape. Even if it moves here, we simply take it with the bishop. Okay, now in this position, even if white doesn't block the threat and decides to move his queen away, it doesn't really help him. Because now, we bring our knight into action, and suddenly, we are ready to pounce on him from all directions. We've got this royal fork lined up. Queen to g2 is another powerful option to invade white's king side. And of course, both our bishops are just waiting to jump in and finish the job. At this point, it's completely over for white. No matter what he does, checkmate is coming. Now, what if in this position, instead of playing knight to f7, white tries to give a bishop check? No problem at all. We simply move our king. And look at this. His knight is hanging. He can't move it because if he does, then this bishop will be gone. If he decides to capture our knight, that's fine. We first take his knight, and then we can capture this pawn, completely tearing apart his kingside defense. It's game over. White's attack is gone, and his king is wide open. Now, some of you might be wondering, what if white doesn't fall for any of these traps and simply accepts the gambit? Alright, let's see what happens then. You first grab control of the center, and eventually, you'll also recover that pawn. Now the bishop is under attack. So moving it to b5 seems most logical. It pins our knight and threatens the pawn on e5. But guess what? We've got a clever idea here too. Instead of rushing to defend that pawn, we focus on fast development. We play knight to e7, preparing to castle. White captures on e5, and we simply castle short. Now, after castling, our knight is unpinned. So white has to respond. He'll probably take on c6, and we'll recapture with our pawn. He retreats his bishop, trying to stay safe. But here comes the brilliant tactical idea. Can you find it? Look, we are fully developed, and our king is safe. Meanwhile, white's position? Completely stuck. He has zero development. So what do? We sacrifice our bishop, cracking open the king side and exposing his king. White is forced to take, and then we capture this pawn, opening everything up. From here, the plan is simple. Bring your queen out quickly, activate your remaining pieces, and launch a devastating attack on the exposed white king. Even though we are down in material, white is way behind in development. And that's why the engine gives black a massive plus 4.5 advantage. So yeah, accepting the Lucchini Gambit? That's a decision your opponent will definitely regret. So, that's all about the Lucchini Gambit. Use this trap and win games easily. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. See you in the next one.